Money.
You did it. We did it.
What up, though? Had to make it at the 5555.
We made it. We made it. Look, we in this thing. How you doing, baby?
What up, though? You know, on these cryptos as it goes, getting more and more crypto.
Yes. It's been a crazy day in Hexaco.
Yeah, a lot of commotion, a lot of chaos, a lot of around.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a minute here and go ahead and share the stream. Let's see. I always wait till the last minute to do this.
Yeah, it's all good though. Trade going to trickle on in, guys. Trickle on in. So yeah, I guess the big word on the street is in. Day one behind us. Everybody kind of seen how it unfolded, and yeah, kind of a lot of infighting as far as people upset about the popularity. I guess the attention that it's been grabbing around the community. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. It's a lot going on. I'm going to share my screen in a minute here. Once I can actually share out the link.
The attention that it's been grabbing around the community. I don't know what you think.
All right, I got the link. So we got Ocean Breeze in the chat. He says, "What's up?" He says, "Why are they betting on Zen? You know it comes from fear." Quite possibly. I don't know. I'm gonna bring up my screen share in a minute. Here we go. And it's
I don't think it's I think part of it is, you see the price down and you look at all the, you see people posting charts about how much gas has been sent to Mint. And, it's a lot of chart envy as far as, that money could have been spent, helping the price chart, so I could see that as the bulk of a lot of the complaints. People thinking that chasing shiny object syndrome and, another kind of vampire attack, people feeling like someone came into the community to get support for their new token. So yeah, I can kind of hear that. That's the most I've heard, as far as the similar arguments.
Yeah, the biggest commotion seems to be around Jack. Like, did he have this this idea when he came into the community? Because I met Jack, I've talked to him, I set up a spaces with him. Yeah, had a few conversations with him. And my impression when I talked to him, got introduced, was that he was a Hexagon, right? Was that he had received a Hex postcard. Then he started digging into, crypto space online, and he liked what he saw from the Hex community, right? Whether or not he actually invested in Hex, I don't know, but that was my assumption, just because he kind of said, I'm Mexican, I like this project, I like what Richard Hart is doing. And then he streamed with Richard Hart on Maddie's conference, the Post Chain online conference. And so I was like, okay, from what I could tell, he didn't already have this coin idea in mind, but with Post Chain and all these new projects coming out like all the time, right? It seemed as if to me he wanted to, create something else, right? Like, I have this knowledge, I have this background. I'd like to create something that in his mind could be accessed by anybody and everybody with very little financial, commitment. Almost like I was looking at it like that onboarding tool, right? Like, you want somebody to get their first crypto, right? Just so that they can begin to look at charts. Now, this chart is probably not a good chart to be learning, learning crypto on. But that was kind of my idea of what I thought he was doing. But today online, it seems like a lot of the fighting and everything that's going on is because of some of Jack's statements in like a Telegram chat. And so I pulled it up so we could just kind of listen to it, and then I can get your opinion on what you think. What the big deal is with this statement.
Do you plan on being on Pulse Chain as well?
Well, I don't have to be there because it's going to get copied. Listen, if Richard remains cool and doesn't rival everyone, then I'll endorse Pulse Chain. Until then, I would be endorsing it because there was no scammy activity from his side. So, it isn't up to me to move the contract. They're just going to copy it, and I'm going to say, yeah, it's there.
Can I just ask you a quick question about Richard Hart and Hex? I've watched you a few times on Jim Rat Crypto show, and it's been cool to see you sort of interact and talk about Hex and Zen. But you just spoke about Richard having 90% of the Hex volume, and then you're like, obviously, if Pulse Chain works out and he doesn't create any sort of scamming situations, then you'll back him. Sort of some stage, when will people, in your opinion, drop the sort of superstitious thoughts about Richard being a scammer? Because it's sort of like 3 years he's creating some awesome stuff, but then even yourself, you still have that in the back of your mind. Like, at what stage do you reckon that changes? Because a lot of Hexicans have got it into Zen, obviously, and driven the word out there.
There's a very quick solution for Richard not to be called a scammer. He just needs to burn his hacks, and then he's not a scammer. It can't possibly be a scammer because he wouldn't have any economic energy to control. That's my opinion. Until then, there is a possibility somebody will steal his keys, and it wouldn't even be his fault. But somebody can scam on top of him, or can scam him and scam the rest of the community, and nobody will stop it. So
that's just specifically with Hex. But if Pulse Chain's successful, that'll be a different part. But then if he was to burn his stack of Hex, would that increase obviously the rest of the volume?
Well, it should obviously improve the price because it will move Hex out of the purgatory on CoinMarketCap too. That's what it is. When you do something like that, when you have so much economic energy on top of the project and you can control it fully, it doesn't matter you haven't done it. What if you lose your keys? So that's a problem.
With him controlling 90% of the volume, is that helping the rest of the volume improve in price through the staking in that? Is that how the mechanism works?
It doesn't help anything. There's a zero help from somebody who's having 90% of anything because it's very centralized. It's not what crypto and blockchain was designed to solve. Well, listen, if he was super humble, nerdy guy with glasses, people wouldn't hate him as much.
I feel like he made valid points. It's just an opinion. I don't think that he should be criticized for having an opinion about how the coin operates. So I don't know. I still don't see what all the fighting and bickering is about.
It's sort of both coins. On one hand, you can be looking at it as, like you said, he did come to the community as a Hexican, in support, sharing ideas with Richard. I know the community kind of looked at it as we're bringing someone else in. Maybe you can spread awareness about Hex, and you've taken that and now you're spreading awareness about this other product. It is people say they're not competing products, but it's the same, concept as far as when you think of not the OA, what do you call the adoption amplifier, where essentially you're trading ETH for Hex, and with Zen you're trading ETH and time for Zen. So I just think the same thing he did with Google as far as looking at search engines and finding out what wasn't working in the space and what was useful to people and backing Google, something that was useful. And I think that Zen is just, as far as crypto, they really harp on the true crypto aspect of it, as far as it's a fair mint. Fair as far as anyone who wants to participate can participate as much as they want, at any capacity. So I think he created something that's just fair game.
I see Big G, kind of bringing up that argument, tell Elon Musk to burn his t-shirt as a Tesla or he's a scammer. I hear what you're saying, Big G, but I think that what Jack was saying is taken a little bit, out of context. I don't think he's saying that he is a scammer. I think he's saying that if it didn't exist, then there could be no pointing fingers at him, right? That would just eliminate any questions that anybody had any reason for them to continue to point the finger at him.
I don't like the idea of burning money anyway, but to me that doesn't solve the problem, because if he has the power or the capacity to burn those coins, then that shows acting on a third party, as a major
Mhm.
holder. So I would rather nothing happen
It
as
just do
opposed
what
to
it's been doing.
right.
Yeah, I think he was just, that's what people do when they're pitching their product or their coin. They're trying to show you a thing. What made them do it? What made them create this? What are the parts of the tokenomics that I don't like over here that I try to improve on? Whether or not the improvement is, not here nor there. I don't necessarily think that Zen is a better product than Hex. I think it's a different product than Hex. I think
Yeah.
that it has totally different objectives as to what it is that it's trying to accomplish. To me, it's just a cheaper onboard, right? Like
Right.
I can send somebody Zen for $5. I can mint it for $5 and maybe $2 to send or whatever, under $10. But if I buy somebody $10 in a lot of these other coins, it's just people get captured by big numbers, right? Like I could go, I like more, I on board with more. But when I send my family member, 2 to 5 more, they're like,
Yeah.
well, what is that? But if I can send them 50,000, of this, then it at least captures their eye a little
Yeah.
bit.
That unit bias.
Yeah. So, I don't, not, like I said, where's the little banner? This is not financial advice. I am not telling you to go and spend your money on Zen.
But I
Um,
mean, it's a great onboard tool in the sense that, say if you do want to get somebody in the hex, that first step, having your own keys and self custodianship, that's the first step. You tell somebody get a wallet, and when you do that, you got access to free crypto off the bat, before you even get, into the next step. So, really having skin in the game, I think that's part of having success in crypto. If you're not in it, you're not even paying attention to it. And I think it's great for as far as getting people outside of the crypto bubble who are already here, and the average person on the street just introduced into crypto. I think it's a great tool for that person.
yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of the same sentiment in the chat. Zen is not Hex. It's just a really cheap way to onboard people into crypto. I know when we were, on the tour traveling, that was a big part of what we were doing, right? We had partnered with Staker app. We were essentially trying to make every single person that came through our workshops download Staker app, because it felt like an easier onboard than MetaMask, right? Everybody says don't do MetaMask on your cell phone, do it on your desktop. And like, how can we do all this, at these workshops? So then we tried to go through Staker app, and that still wasn't much easier for them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it is a simple download of an app, but the ideology behind Hex,
Yeah.
as soon as you start talking T-shares, as soon as you start talking ladders and all this different information, it just, a lot of people was just like, whoo, I'm just not here
Yeah.
for it.
And then and not to cut you off, but
Yeah,
it
go ahead.
it has its own mechanics as far as interest, but it makes it easy. You don't get to really decide as far as just how many days and let it go. You don't have to have that same game theory from the jump. But yeah, go ahead.
No, babe, that was pretty much it. And like, as far as my strategy for Zen, we've kind of talked about this. I don't have a true strategy. The first day, I just wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to see what it was. I did some max length, and then I did some day ones just because I wanted to see how that turnaround process was. Those day ones turned out pretty good. I was able to sell two different ones. One of them, I think I got like almost $300 back for it, from a $5, maybe $10 in all that I spent on that one. And I still have plenty of them to go, the distance. So what I did was I turned that ETH, when I sold it, I turned that ETH into like another 10 wallets, plus I re-upped my bag of more because we're on a dip.
Yeah.
So all in all, I'm feeling kind of zen.
In the Zen mode, really. Yeah, I got really excited at the lunch. So I just felt that sting of that gas fees at the jump, 20 and $30. And I kind of wait till later in the day. But that waiting and letting it kind of play out a little bit, that kind of relaxed me a little bit to where I was more willing to play a longer game. My first option for max length was 300 something days. So I was willing to play around with those days around 3 something. So I kind of got a strategy going around that. I was kind of late in the day, so I knew that if I wasn't among the first day one stakers, that it would be plummeting on day one. So I wouldn't probably get as much being a day one staker. So I did do day 3, but everything else is kind of down the line, and I'll come back to it when everybody's kind of forgotten about Zen for a while and kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, let's just check in on it, see what it's doing. You have to pay attention to the fact, and I think I'll probably go back to my Twitter in a little bit because I did 2 different polls, right? And to me, there's something to be said about a coin coming in and being able to capture this much attention, positive or negative, right? Even if it's getting a lot of hate, it's still being talked about a lot, right? So I did 2 different polls. The first poll basically said, how many wallets, are you minting? And I purposely left off 0 because I know that there's a lot of people that are just like
None.
right? None. So I started at 1 and then I went up to like 10 plus, right? And then I don't even want to speak on it actually until I go back and pull up my Twitter because I don't even want to be wrong. So I'll come back to that topic and we'll look at these stats real quick. So look, 2 days in, over 500,000 minted wallets already. That's basically what that global rank is. This one is the one that moves the fastest as far as those like amplifiers. It moves every 100,000. So it'll go down to 9.4 when that reaches 600,000. Everything else, this one goes down one at a time. This one goes down like every 90 days. So for the most part, those are pretty set. But I mean, bots or not, that is pretty impressive.
Yeah, not bad, man. Lots of activity. And I was doing some other crypto stuff and you can just feel the effects, around all of the crypto space, with all the activity. So yeah, man, Zen is making noise. Saw a few articles that mentioned it,
Let me go back over here to Twitter real quick and look at my polls. It was the numbers that impressed me because, a Twitter poll, unlike the wallets where, 500,000 could be 4 people, right? Like in theory, there could just be a lot of bots running really fast. Twitter, a poll, you can only answer the poll 1 time. So that means, these are individual people weighing in. So that was the second one. Here's the first one coming up. Oh my gosh, Kaylin, why do you post so much?
Can't
Okay,
read
here
that.
How many wallets have you started a Zen mint on so far? 30% said over 10, but yet we have 736 votes that said at least 1, right? I purposely left off 0 so that I could just see who is actually trying it out. And there's at least 736 people that, see my posts that I engage with, that voted and said that they've done at least 1. And then 30% of that number has done over 10, right? Pretty sure there's no bots answering my poll. So that shows, there are a lot of users, just people that are interested in this project. And then I did a follow-up poll because, that's the other thing to note. I left off the 0 on purpose, but out of these 37 comments, I'd say a good 30 of them are people that wanted to tell me that they're a big fat 0.
Yeah.
All the comments, DJ Pauly saw it. All the comments were saying 0 and asking how come I left that off. And I was like, I get it. People don't like it, but I'm just trying to see the people that want to try
Yeah.
it out. You know,
If you did, how many
what's
did
your
you?
activity like?
Well, you may have to take some of those ones and take into account that those people wanted to put 0.
Right. So then I did the follow-up poll, and for all those zeros out there, I made a category that says, look, yes, we get it. You're still not interested. But for the other people, what are you doing with your Zen? And surprisingly, people are accumulating. 28% of the people that are either thinking about minting, or have some, because you have to have some in order to sell it, are accumulating.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
interesting.
I missed the Pokemon. I just got to catch them all. I still got a couple Uniswap tokens I got airdropped for, and in about 10 years, they're all going to be like, "Whoa, how'd you get that?" So
Yeah.
it's the opportunity, especially something that's designed to, when you think of Google, I just feel he has his goal, his end game is users. As far so I'm not thinking about the price. It's an investment in his not even saying I'm investing in a person, but what I think this project can turn into, and it's got 2 of the same 3 letters as Hex. It's a really easy domain name. It's simple. The when you think of Hex, I mean, I love Hex. It's got us where we are today. But the word Hex, the connotation behind it is even a little negative, to where when you introduce it to someone, it's
Ooh.
inflammatory. But Zen has the opposite effect. So just as far as onboarding and how it can bring new people into the crypto space, I appreciate what Jack did with this one.
Yeah. So, but yeah. I mean, it is what it is. What you got on your screen? You want me to share your screen now?
No, they're gonna see me. Fidgeting. Yeah, I got some charts up, some art. And,
Is
yeah,
this Zen?
it's Zen.
Oh man, this is the worst chart in crypto.
But this is actually good. This is the major resistance on top, and we're way away from it. So yeah, it's gonna be death until we get to the floor. But once you get to the floor, the faster you get there, the better. Then it can get boring. And and it's a nice spike off of this line here. This last line is like 0, like barely any value. So we definitely might probably touch that line. But by then people will have so many tokens. Now this is like really short. This is a 4-hour chart. So you got to think about this on months time frame. And yeah, it won't be a straight line down, but I can see some adoption after people kind of forget about it, and the big players slowly accumulate, and the non-believers dump and get rid of their tokens.
Yeah. Now, at what point though do you stop minting and buy it? Like if it gets to the point to where the price is so low that you get more to purchase it than to mint it, would you buy
Right. And so that's what's keeping the price from dumping straight to 0, because there is an arbitrage into where it makes sense to just buy it instead of minting it, or because there is a staking mechanism to Zen that people aren't talking about that makes it even more of a fight against the inflation. So yeah, there's mechanics behind it. I don't think people put all this work and energy into something that's doesn't have a decent plan. And we'll see. We'll have to see it play out. But it doesn't look horrible. I've seen worse looking crypto charts, and this is free.
Yeah. Should we talk about what we got into, what we showed on screen yesterday to warn the people about finding Zens on other chains?
No, let's not mention it because that could hurt someone.
Okay. Well, let's just say.
But Jack did mention lunching on a BSC and Polygon, but they'll all be from the same Zen network site, mainnet
Yeah.
Zen crypto
But,
site.
I
So
mean, the scammers are so smart because we only looked it up because on stream somebody said it has the same contract address, and that will hurt a lot of people, right? Like you think that you're looking at something objectively, it's called Zen, it has the same contract address, but it's on BSC. you know, so you're like, oh, okay, that must be something because it has the same contract as. These scammers are smart, man. I don't know how,
And
but
these people are stupid. Like, I'm not sure that people didn't buy posts in because of the lunch. Like,
yeah,
it's not hard to scam people these days.
yeah, that's true. That is very true. So let's look at some better charts like Hex.
Oh yeah, where they at though? We had a lot of red today. I was looking.
It's been a lot. You know where it wasn't red, and you know, don't let me be the one to pipe this coin up because I'm constantly
Post
screaming.
Doge.
I'm constantly screaming sale. But yeah, Post Doge was like the green candle months. You know, the
Yeah,
eclipse.
maybe I should pull up that chart. Post Doge is in a nice little triangle, ascending triangle that it's been in. I did a stream, my anti-bro crypto, where when it was at like 250, I was liking the way it was climbing up that triangle. So
Yeah.
ew, Hex looked like it's under a crashing wave that's coming to hit him on top of the head. This is a weekly chart. I do like this though. It's good. On a weekly time frame, let's say the longest time frame always wins, and anytime under the moving average is good buys to me. So this is just like good opportunity because it's like a spring. You know, when you push it down so much, it's going to explode once you relieve that pressure. And I just think once we get out of this triangle, it's going to explode. This is like December, so I think coming soon if we can hold this line. Even if we go lower, we may touch this bottom triangle, which is like 2.7, 2.8. But yeah, Hex is looking good on the upside, actually.
So tell me this: you're new to Hex, right? New to crypto, but you've heard a lot about Hex, so that's the first one that you want to hop into. You buy some Hex. What are you doing with it from there? Are you staking it through like a native stake? Are you considering the HSI stake through the Hedron app? What are you doing with your new?
If I don't have any Hex, I
Yeah.
that's a good question, because there's so much uncertainty with what's going on with the fork and post chain when it launches, we don't know. So if I don't have any Hex, you might want to leave some of that liquid so you can accumulate with a copy on the other side or do something with Pulse, so you don't want to stake all of it. I definitely would get a 555.
In the
I
form
would
of
maybe
HSI or
That's what I
just
was saying. I might do it with the HSI because it gives you that opportunity to sell it, immediately if you wanted to and not be so locked into it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I like the staking. I'm still staking Hex. Every time I have a stake that comes out, I fill in a paycheck ladder I have. So I'm still not adverse to telling people just to buy and stake Hex, and whatever you stake, you get a copy of it.
yeah. What about possibly onboarding straight into one of the perpetuals, like in the DESI, since the price is still so close to it?
Yeah, I may because with those tokens you do get the rewards, that gives you access to those tokens, and the Hex has already been locked away for those rewards. So I don't hate that. um I don't know, the tokens are generally more. I don't know the price on the new ones. I haven't really been checking on those charts. We can pull those up. But
Yeah,
with Maxi, my thing with Maxi is Hex is cheaper than Maxi, and it gives me more flexibility. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're not bad ideas, and they give you options to not, force someone to learn the nuance of, staking Hex and learning T shares. They can buy one of those tokens and get that same reward.
and already kind of be exposed to staking
Hmm.
without actually staking.
Yeah, but it's good to have that many options, and like you said, it. I can see why people don't really like to promote these other tokens because all I'm seeing is money going away from Hex and taking Hex off the market. But when you're buying one of those derivatives, like say for one of those team tokens, that Hex has already been taken off the market. So not so bad there. With Hedron, they actually they incentivize you to stake Hex because you can earn those, and as they gain value, you just earn a more valuable token. Um, So I definitely advise people to look at those while they're still cheap, because I don't think they'll be much cheaper that long. Icosa and Hedron. So yeah, that's kind of my onboard strategy. Get a little bit of all this ecosystem.
Yeah. What is oh, Vets just brought up another one that I also love, Icosa. And I figured out yesterday because I was doing some Icosa staking, and I don't know if you're gonna look at their chart and just
Ooh, she's a Chad. Yeah, I pulled up this. I wouldn't advise buying the Post Doge unless you know, not financial advice. If you don't have it already, you know, I wouldn't chase it. If you have it, I wouldn't sell it because I definitely think it's a big move coming. 4x is my magic number. I think $15 is about, you know, where it's probably going to go. Eventually, I don't think it'll be a straight line, but I don't hate Post Doge. Icosa, yeah, about $1. You know, it's the hex dollar.
what, Icosa?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned something interesting about Icosa because yesterday we were playing on the site and we were looking at what the minimum stake lengths were. And I thought that it was just like 180 days, like, or 90 days for Icosa. But turns out it's based on the number of Icosa that you're staking. There are like little limits. So I think it's somewhere like under 10 for 30 days. I end up doing a 90-day Icosa stake, and that has to be less than 65 Icosa. Once you pass 65, then it goes up to 180 days that you have to stake Icosa.
Nice.
So
That's,
that,
you know,
that
some good protection against those big bags.
I'm interested to see, does it keep going, right? Like I didn't keep playing with it to try, like, you know, like you got 1,000 Icosa, you know, like where are those limits at? Are they, you know, doing 300 days or more, or is there like a hard cap at like 180? So I'm gonna go check that out.
Yeah, you balling, go ahead and scoop about 1,000 of them, see what they're talking about.
He's funny. He's got all the jokes, ladies.
But yeah, this is you know, this was back at about 80 cents or 79. So the lowest, you know, floor that's been rising. We touched the 1.5. So yeah, big move could be incoming. 140 is about the next target, maybe lower. 125. So yeah, and then if it can get past that, you know, it's a price discovery, and we can probably get back to one of these, you know, $1.50 levels.
Yeah, I'm team money printers. I like all the money printers.
Yeah, buddy. And you
Yeah.
know, it's crazy because this is the bear market and people don't know what none of this is. You know, when you think about the bull run, you know, you can kind of throw a dart at the board and find something that was mooning. And, you know, I think it's going to be a little different this next time. I think it's going to be more stuff that actually has a product market fit. And people are going to be looking at what were people buying for this last 2-year period, you know. So those are the coins that are going to really do well. And, you know, I wouldn't doubt seeing a few hundred X's in this ecosystem.
Yeah. Vets is asking about the WhatsApp app. Let's see. He said, did you two get into WhatsApp? And I did. I did one. Just a small one. You know, I didn't do a whole lot of research into it before I got into it. But it's the same thing like with this Zen and with everything else. The community gets into an uproar about something for like 24 hours. And then you don't too much hear nothing about it again. But yeah, so while everybody was constantly talking about it, I went ahead and did one. And it seems to be accumulating a nice amount of Icosa, you know. But for me, I was like, I think I'll just go and buy the Icosa.
Well, and for me, it was, you know, these are really smart people developing these things. So they're not spending all that time and energy to build something that's going to fail. So I just had, you know, faith in them in that aspect. And the fact that, you know, there was a limited mint. Like once the mint phase was done, there's no chance to mint these NFTs. It was kind of a one chance, one shot thing. And I started to think about all the people that wouldn't never get that opportunity. You know, one not even aware of crypto, aware of Hedron and this stuff. So just that advantage, first mover advantage. I had to get a couple.
FOMO is what you're saying.
Probably what you may. Gotta catch them all.
Right. Speaking of gotta catch them all, I want to look into the Pokegon. Is that what it's called?
Oh, not Nintendo Labs.
Yeah. So I was in a Twitter Spaces, and Tic Tac brought it up because she uses it for her nieces and nephews as far as an educational course on introduction through some advanced ideologies in crypto. And so I guess the way that it works is that you complete certain requirements of the course, and then you get new NFTs. And to get access to get started, you just need to buy one of the NFTs. And I guess right now they're like maybe between 20 and $30. And so us being so interested with not only teaching our kids, but getting them active in the crypto space. Like it's more than them just like knowing what crypto is and what wallets are. Like I want them to find like their passions. And my daughter, she loves art. I mean, she's been drawing on our walls since she was born.
Our lives.
She's been doing that since she was a baby. So I would love for her to be able to express her art and to see if the NF space is good for her. And then our son, he is a legit gamer. So I know that there's going to be projects like the metaverse and all these different type things that he's really going to gravitate towards. So the more knowledge and the more exposure that I can get them, the better as far as I'm concerned.
Well, he already was an Axie Infinity Pro.
He was. He's got a nice bag somewhere. Somewhere. I mean, he was into it. He was breeding them and doing all kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate Orca / Cookie Monster. And
Right.
I really want to get more information about that Chia network as well. But that's what really drove me to crypto is knowing it was such a new industry. Like you can't have think of all the new developers we had in the last year, 18 months. And why can't our younger generation be part of this growing, and learn with us and be part of this growth and be part of the leaders of the future. That's what I really want is for them to really be part of at the forefront, and not being at the end of the way when it comes years down the line.
Yeah, this is he's going back to this topic, and I think that's a very good question. Will the HSI auction increase the staked ICOSA yield? And I don't know, but that is very interesting. I wonder when does the HSI auction start? I know it's soon.
It's in November.
Okay.
Yeah. So put that question up again. Let me see that. Will the Amadura HSI auction increase the staked ICOSA yield? Are people going to be burning those HSIs, or no? People are going to be auctioning for them.
We got a date, November 13th. HSI auctions, yes.
I'm probably wrong on this because I'm saying it on camera, but I would think that those auctions would increase the amount of holders. I think if anything, the yield would go up, but I don't think it would change as much as you would think. I think the people who are buying those off auction or want to have them, they're not buying them to dump them. So I think it's going to still be that same pool, getting the stakes, getting the rewards. But what do I know? I only got a couple, so I can't affect the price either way. I'm just gonna hold mine.
He said kids need to learn how to code and engineering 100%. Yeah.
Trying, man.
Yeah.
They keep falling asleep.
And November 13th, DJ Pauly, what is your birthday? We're going to have to celebrate both of our birthdays out here in San Diego. That gives me the perfect opportunity to go ahead and shill San Diego one more time. Absolutely. Let's see.
Definitely.
First.
Yeah, I forgot about Polly. Yeah, you're right. You know, it's so much stuff that's yeah, man. I don't know. Don't miss out. Don't put your head in the sand. That's my only advice. You know, you got to be in it to win it.
With that being said, so I wanted to dive into these events a little bit more, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and just all that good stuff. So yes, it is my birthday. I'm not a huge birthday, person celebrating or whatnot, but I do love hanging with my Hexicans. So if the folks are going to come out to San Diego, then we might as well do it big, all 3 days. But it's really about the Hex birthday. So that first day is really just meetups. We're going to dinner, buy your own dinner, come over to the Hard Rock where most of us are staying. They have a beautiful rooftop bar. They have another like sports bar down on the first floor that we're going to hang out at. So you can just come over and hang out. No charges there. But Hex birthday, that's where we're trying to really do it big. We got a 40-person yacht. The yacht is already almost sold out. Let me check my numbers because I did talk with some people today. Let's see. So we are at 32 of 40 spots on the yacht field. So if you want to, come out with us on the yacht, hit me up as soon as possible so that we can get you down for that. We're going to have Hex flags out there on that yacht. We're going to have all kind of drinks, champagne toast. We are going to do it big. I'm talking with Power City and Post Jesus. If you guys have not seen the footage for the fashion show, it's great. That team that they have, that film, they are amazing. I mean, yeah, the performers were amazing. Suzanne's fashions were amazing. But that team, that production team, they really did an amazing job on the edit as well. So go over to Power City's page and check that out. Trying to get them to come down to San Diego so that we continue to produce awesome content. So we're doing the yacht. And then that night, we got probably the most popular nightclub in downtown San Diego, Park Nightclub, on a Friday night. Our plan is that we have all the front sections reserved, some of the middle ones. We are trying to pack that spot out with Hexicans so that when all the locals come in for their regular Friday night jam, they're like, what is going on here? What is this, pink, yellow logo all over the building? Who are all these people decked out talking about happy third birthday, right? So that's kind of the plan for the nightclub event. And then the following day is really about embracing cryptocurrency as a whole. It's not a Hex event. It's December 3rd. It's called Crypto and Cocktails. It's a day party where we are trying to get crypto influencers and enthusiasts from all different places, right? To continue the energy that we had in Vegas with Pulse Chain, as far as there are a lot of different people that are developing on Pulse Chain in order to make that not a ghost chain, in order to make that successful. So we definitely are encouraging all people from all different coins and all different blockchain technology to come out and hang out with us on that Saturday at the day party that will be on the rooftop at Hard Rock Hotel. Heck yeah. Who doesn't love San Diego? Oh, look at you. Rocking the San Diego shirt. Well, we
Yeah, I
have
hope the weather's nice. You know, it's going to be December.
Yes. Right now, I've got permission to do a step and repeat, you know, for like pictures when you come into the club. I'll see what other type of promo banners, but they have digital screens everywhere. And so my main thing was, will you put up our images on the screen? And we got a yes for that. So I think that sets us apart. What you looking forward to, Black KC Crypto?
Staying home.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
San Diego, of course. You know, we're here at home. You know,
Not being out on the road.
yeah, chocolate martinis. Get some chocolate martinis. Shouts out to Vets and Crypto, man. That dude say life of the party. You might say
It might be
you
Vets.
guys go vote. Vets get a couple votes, man.
Yes.
No, but yeah, I you know, the last Hex birthday was a lot of fun, you know, and you know, it's hard to, it's Hex third birthday. Like, I'm so anticipating. I mean, knock on wood, we'll just see what happens, but yeah, so much on the horizon. Hopefully we'll be in a really good spot, you know, December 1st, and everybody will be excited.
And throw some comments out there, throw some ideas out there. If there's something you think we should, you know, do, incorporate to make the event that much better, to get, you know, the Hex brand out in San Diego even much more, let me know. You know, we got 2 months and already got, you know, 32 out of 40. My goal was 40 people for this meetup. And I think that we're going to crush that. So, you know, however we can, we already got the people coming to town. So if we can blow this thing up even bigger, then let's do it. Let's make sure Hex is celebrated in the best fashion.
Yeah, we know how to party, man. We know how to party.
Anything else you want to talk about, baby?
No, that was a good one, man. Knock it out the park, they did.
All right, cutting a little short. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Skywriting banner. Okay, now he's talking them big bucks now, Vince. I was thinking more like, you know, stickers at the gas station.
Say something over the bay.
Posters at the college, you know, so something like that. But you know,
didn't mean enough Zen for that one.
I definitely didn't mean enough Zen. All right, people. Let's see. You know what I'm gonna have to download? I'm gonna have to get one of your tracks on here, so that we can end the show with some Black KC Crypto.
Hey,
some
man.
of that good music.
Stake money, stake money, stake money. That's gonna be my one-hit wonder. I'm gonna be singing that song 60 years old at the 5555 convention.
And our
stake money.
and our 60-year-old 100% will still be like, why? I don't know. I don't know those people. Cringe. All right, people. Thanks for joining us. Good night. Love, peace, and
Thanks for
all
coming
that
out.
other good stuff.
Take money, take money, take money, do you stake money? Stake money, do you make money? Make money, do you take money? Take money, take money.